This your man 10, ALLKANDY.com. We in the dungeon, leaving them on the wet. But today, I was graced by my man, Mr. Jimmy Ellis Sr. What I want to let you guys know is that Mr. Jimmy Ellis Sr. is from Cario, Illinois, out there Midwest area. You guys are familiar. I'm gonna let him expand on that. But what he is, he's the newest, like say, distributor of the wet. Like say, Mr. Jimmy, he gonna be like say, he'll be the new distributor of the wet up there in that Midwest area, in that Cairo, in that market right there. So if you guys are anywhere close to Cairo, Illinois, he would be the man to talk to. But he happened to be down south, was down here visiting, and he gave me a call. He said, 10, I wanted to come by, get a chance to meet you, and because you know, that wet, he's been a supply. I mean, like I say, he's been buying the clear offline, and he loves it. Loves it to the point that he stands behind it. Like I say, Mr. Ellis has years. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let Mr. Ellis do the talking. Now, hey, Mr. Ellis, go on and talk to him. Let him know what's going on.
The wet, that's what's going on. Jimmy Ellis, owner of Jimmy's Body Shop. Over 20 years of quality collision repair. I shot them all. DuPont. I shot Sickens. I shot all of them, and I'm telling you, there's nothing that compares to the wet. For all you painters that's looking for the right clear, it's a quality clear at a fair price. Now I am now the newest distributor. So we are 2 hours from St. Louis, 3 hours from Nashville, 2 hours from Memphis. So I am now the newest distributor. You can give me a call at 618-734-3014 or 618-203-6014.
Now, Mr. Ellis, do you have an email? Do you have a fax? Do you have anything like that for your customers?
Email, paintu1@yahoo. Paint, the alphabet U and the number 1 at Yahoo.
Like I say, this is Mr. Jimmy Ellis. He's in the dungeon. As you can see, we in the dungeon. He's sweating, I'm sweating. It's 90 degrees. We just want to show you that it goes down. We're putting in work. We here in the dungeon, like I say, at ALLKANDY. And we got Mr. Jimmy Ellis. He does collision work. I know he does custom work. He does quality collision. Let me correct that.
Custom paint work. 24-hour towing, as well as custom hydraulics.
Custom hydraulics?
Custom hydraulics.
You hear that? Like I say, so for all the customers, like I say, if you guys have been looking at my videos and you stay in that area, in that Cairo, in that vicinity, and you're looking for the wet, Mr. Jimmy Ellis, Mr. Ellis himself, Mr. Ellis Sr. himself can spray that. He does the candy jobs also. So, as I say, and as I tell to all the painters and all the customers I do look at my videos, I can't paint them all, but I can definitely supply all the painters. That's it. Now, for the customers out there, I can't paint all your cars, but guess what? Mr. Jimmy, Mr. Ellis, he can definitely do it for you. Give him a call. Give him that number again.
618-203-6014.
Now, like I said, Mr. Ellis, I keep on wanting to say Jimmy, you know.
That's all right, Jimmy's cool.
All right, like I say, hey, Jimmy, tell him you done sprayed both the wet and the wet plus. Let them know, let the painters know what the difference is between the wet and the wet plus.
The difference is the wet plus is a little thicker, so if you're trying to hide graphics, pinstripes, artwork, wet plus is the way to go. Wet works excellent on your standard paint jobs. Wet or wet plus, trust me, you can't go wrong. This is the stuff.
Now, like I say, let them know about the shrinkage. What about shrinkage, dieback? You know, tell them what you found out, like say, after you shot it for the first time. Absolutely no shrinkage.
With most clears, after it's dried overnight, if you leave a little bit in the cup, it's drawn up in the middle. With this wet or the wet plus, the clear stays. When you leave the booth, the way you shoot it is the way when you come back the next morning, it'll be that same way, same shine left on the wet.
That's he like I said, Mr. Ellis definitely knows how to leave it on the wet. He actually went through a little seminar of mine today. I showed him how to exactly go.
Shout out to you, 10.
Yeah, like I say, I'm leaving them on the wet. Mr. Ellis is leaving them on the wet at Jimmy's
Body Shop and Toy, Cairo, Illinois. That phone number again, 618-203-6014. Check us out on YouTube. We'll be posting more videos. Jimmy's Body Shop.
Remember, you can buy the product. He can paint the product. However you want to do it, he can get you the wet for those that are in that area and that surrounding area. All right, now, Mr. Jimmy.
Yeah.
How many hours was that from Cairo down this way?
8 hours.
8 hours. Like I said, he was on the road for 8. Now, what I want to say to my people out that way, he didn't make that trip by himself. He actually had his road dog, his partner in crime, his buddy, his friend, his like I say, slash customer, slash all of that. Like I say, Carlos made the road trip with Mr. Jimmy Ellis. Come on in here, Carlos.
What's going on?
Hold on, let's get him up in there. There you go. Tell YouTube, say what up.
What's up with it? What's up, YouTube?
Hey, now we got Carlos in here. Now he was in here. He's down here with Mr. Ellis. He's checking it on out. What's the wet all about? What you done see?
Man, it's wet. I can't wait, man. Get ready. 1994 Chevy Caprice Bubble. Get ready. It'll be on YouTube. Check out my man Jimmy.
That's it. Now tell him about Jimmy. Now when you supposed to be starting to spray your car with the wet?
I'll start within the next week or two. So get ready. Get ready. Cairo, Illinois, Memphis, St. Louis. It ain't gonna shine like that. It's gonna be so wet. I'm gonna have to do this here. Hey, and I love you, man. Good work. Good work.
I appreciate it. Now I appreciate it. As I said, Carlos, he the man. Like I say, that's it. He telling you what's happening. This is, like I said, this is Mr. Ellis, Mr. Jimmy Ellis, the newest distributor for the wet out there in Cairo, up there in the Midwest area. For all you folks, give him a call back at what number again?
618-203-6014.
Now you can get the product from him. You can get the work. You can get the wet put on your vehicle if it's already painted and you feel it ain't wet enough, and you want to make sure it's got the wet on it. Bring it to Mr. Jimmy. He can handle all that for you at what?
Jimmy's Body Shop in Towing, Cairo, Illinois.
Give me that number one more time.
618-203-6014.
And we in the den, baby.
No, you in the dungeon.